The Jim and Terry Show, coming to you with a new feel, new vibe, new mellow, maybe not bellow, maybe just guys with a stride.
It's got a, I like that. Yeah.
Hey, grooving to the new sounds of our calamity turned into opportunity.
Yes, it's a high dose of wisdom sitting.
Oh, well, let's start with wisdom, and you have a new song.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
No, but you know, I could cut away and play some of it. We're not going to play your whole album. That's a whole.
The song is an album.
The song is an album, and that would be our whole podcast. But I can do a clip. So
no, just tell them to go to Jim Sampson Music.
Okay,
under YouTube.
Our Jim and Terry Show. If you're on this listening to us, then you can just go below us, and you see a list of links. And Jim Sampson is the first one. So click on that. It'll take you right to his YouTube channel.
And the new song's called Prophets, Priests, and Poets.
Which I had no trouble finding. And compliments to you, my friend, because this is, well, it's a celebration. This weekend is a celebration of new life. How about old life? How about the musicians?
Well, it's funny, here it is at Easter. I didn't realize I was really, honest to goodness, that was not planned. What planned it was, number one, I'm never going to release it because I'm one of those people that I don't like the tone, whatever. There's a million reasons why not to. And matter of fact, it wasn't going to be released. It was going to be that Our Propitiation, which was going to be the song, but I can't get it, so I like the sound. Anyways, saying all that, it was more the state of the world that made me want to release this song. I didn't even think about it being at the Easter time. Never even thought about it. It's not about Easter, by the way. It's more about the search for wisdom.
And that's in the title, baked in that title with your 3 Ps.
Yeah, prophets, priests, and poets.
And who would you say, I hazard a guess, you're probably going to take the safe position on this, but I'll force you to give an answer. Where is wisdom found? Prophets, priests, or poets?
Well, I don't know. To tell you the truth, the idea behind the song was, you'll notice it starts off that the prophets, priests, and poets are at the bars ordering drinks.
Oh, can I stop you there?
Sure.
And say, is that your illustration?
Oh, no, the man with the hands up?
No, not that one.
The doodle of me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually me.
That's a self-portrait.
Yeah.
Recognizably so with that hat.
It's just a doodle. I have glasses. I don't have glasses anymore either, but the glasses in there. Yeah, it's just me
Very
there.
Nice.
And
nice personal touch.
Yeah, so the idea is this complacency, or if you want to read into that, the frustration is, let's just go get a couple of drinks, like, oh my goodness, the world's going to hell in a handbasket type of idea. And so all of those angelic beings that are coming through in the movie, I was going to say, but that's how my mind works, in the song, they're basically looking for wisdom. It's almost like she took a hiatus too, and she's out, they're ignoring her. She's out there and she's screaming out, eyes that won't see and ears that won't hear kind of thing. And that's who they're looking for. And then the author sees wisdom. And so you put together what you want to put together with it. Thanks for bringing the song up.
Yeah.
And
I think we'll come back to it again. And as I said, I might cut away at some point and play some of this. It's not just the Jim on YouTube. You can go to the link, which will be below us. I will put a specific link to that one.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
But let's celebrate. Good
job. What was this going to be about, by the way?
We're going from the sublime and the talk of wisdom. There is wisdom to this as well, but I'm going to play a little blurb for you, and there's wisdom here.
Before we go here tonight, I just want to give you some perspective. Here at the Key Bridge, we've been talking about it all day. You've seen the images. They're burned in my mind. I'm sure they're burned in yours as well. And we have to remember, 6 human beings, 6 people who were doing their jobs overnight died on this bridge last night. And over the last 20 hours or so, while there have been a lot of people expressing their sincere thoughts to the families and to the workers and to everybody else around them, there have been a lot of conspiracy theories that have been put out, not just by fringe elements on social media, but by people with big platforms, people on cable news, people who think the absolute worst. Our job as journalists is to tell you what we know and what we've been told. And we've done a lot of research as to what happened here. There are things we don't know, and we're certainly working to get you those details. But I urge you, keep those families in mind, because as they were described to the Baltimore Banner, they were humble men who just wanted to provide for their families. And that's what we should remember tonight. Think of the people, and for the noise out there,
All right, there you go. Noise out there is the theme of that. So this was strangely a Fox affiliate on the scene of the bridge collapse in Baltimore.
Good for him. Very good. Because my mind goes to conspiracy too.
All right, well, let's start with a conspiracy, and then we'll go back to what we do know, which is really what we should be focusing on and not spreading what we don't know for sure with all of these other things. So he mentioned conspiracy theories, but not just by the fringe, not just by the usual flat earthers or anti-vaxxers, but by people who have bigger YouTube influencer status and platforms. And I'm not sure who exactly he's referring to, but I can start with the DEI slam that was going on, and it was on Fox, on the Fox News. I don't know if it was Fox and Friends per se, but it was making its way along the usual Fox cable news network. Now, this was a Fox 5 affiliate in Baltimore who gave that nice cautionary, and strange that you used wisdom as our framework for this. There's wisdom in that. Don't spread what you don't know.
Yeah, and it's funny because part of the problem, part of the false spreading is accidental. And I'll tell you why. Everybody's got a job to do in the media. And you got reporters, and they need to say something more. I'm standing at the bridge, and it has been collapsed. Well, we know that. So they start digging, and they start finding things like plutonium. Are the major source of plutonium coming into the United States, which they need, is coming through that port. Their largest number of coal is leaving that port. So they say that way with no conspiracy maybe in mind, just telling you the importance of it when someone says, well, who would not want us to have plutonium? Well, that would be people who don't like the idea we buy all our chips and everything from Taiwan. They want to stop that flow, so we suffer technically wise and we suffer economically because it's going to take us dozens of years to get up to par to make these chips. That kind of thing. And so who's going to buy our coal, you know?
Yeah, linking a material fact.
Yeah.
So these are statistically demonstrable. You can verify the stats.
Yeah.
What goes in, what goes out. You can prove that.
Yeah.
But then to make a connection with some who would want the conspiracy answer. Well, okay, so I'm going to go back to the DEI one because that was the first one when I first heard about the bridge collapse and the ship. This was the first thing I heard was an interview with the mayor, who's a young black man. And the commentaries that I was hearing from the usual suspects on the right side of Fox is DEI is to blame. We're going to hell in a handbasket, America.
What is DEI?
Diversity, equity, and inclusivity. I'm not
How
sure.
How can that be to blame to anything to do with the bridge?
Well, because you're letting incompetent people. I mean,
that's
everybody knows that guy can't possibly be a good mayor because he's, young and male? He's black?
Oh, that's just stupid. Yeah. Now, and
Well,
the guy,
to you
and
and
as
I-
far as the guys on the bridge are concerned, God bless them, their poor families. Yes, they're probably making less money than
Definitely
than their worth. They didn't go there to die. They didn't do anything to cause it. They were just working. So those immigrants taking the shift that you didn't want to take, through the night, have lost their lives, and their families should be remembered and compensated for.
Do we know that they were immigrants?
I think so.
Okay,
I think,
I don't
well, some
know.
of them, no, landed status or, they've been here, like one guy, many years, 14 years,
And
raised
still-
his family, he's got children. He may not be an American citizen, but
Right.
he's in good standing,
Right.
and he's got a good job. None of their faults. Even if they're illegal immigrants, it's none of their faults. The people on the boat, I can't
Well
speak
said.
for them, but number one, if they're incompetent, don't be blaming them. You blame the owners of the ship line. You blame all those checks and balances that go with that. You can't blame someone who gets a good job and isn't qualified. You got to blame the person.
This is
who
2 days
gives them
into
the
it.
job.
Should we be blaming anybody?
Well, no, because the hardest thing we have to get our minds around is that it could just be an accident. In other words, the engine was a little bit older. It's been checked. I'll give you an example. I'm going to go to Florida next month. I'm going to have my car checked out. Will it be able to go to Florida? I'm pretty confident they're going to say, well, as far as we're concerned, yeah. But it may break down because it's getting up there in miles, in kilometers, right? So the same idea with checking a boat, you look, the motor, when's the last time it broke down? Yeah, was it fixed? Yeah, we replaced this part. Good. Okay. Seems fine to me. And you're not thinking it's going to go at crawling space, run into a bridge. But if the engine goes and there's no way to control that thing, you can put that rudder anywhere you want to go. It's going to go where the current takes it. And so anyways, it might just be an accident.
Yeah. So still so much we don't know. And I guess that's the moral of the story. Why have an opinion about something that we don't know?
Well, it's human nature to want to have conversation. What do you think about this?
Oh, it's okay. In fact, that's a subtitle for our show. Have you heard? And that's what we're talking about. Yeah, we've heard these things, but is that something that we maybe need to use more in our common speech? I've heard, but I don't know for sure.
Well, and again, part of it's not our fault because what happens is those reportings, they come out, a reporter just doing his job. I've investigated. This is what comes through this port, and it's the busiest port in the East Coast, and blah, 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 blah. And then it's the other people that start saying, well, who would want this all closed? Well, number one, I'm pretty sure they're going to get that the boatway cleared probably less than a month, I'm guessing. And that would be a major task. But once they realize it, there's no doubt on what happened to the bridge. It's the investigating of the boat. So you can get that debris out of there so more boats can start coming and going. So it's an economic delay, and we know that as Canadians because the whole trucker convoy blocking the Peace Bridge and the other bridge cost billions of dollars to Canada and forced the government to literally have to force them out of the way. So the government's going to stand up very, very quick. I'm sure the federal government down in the United States is going to help clear that wreckage out of there and so that boats can start going again.
A lot of the slamming of the Biden administration is coming along the lines of we need more money to fix bridges and roads and all that stuff. And I'm thinking, but you mainly Republicans voted against infrastructure.
It would be back and forth. There's not enough money for everything. We always got to remember that. There's not enough money for everything.
That's why we negotiate.
That's right.
The Jim and Terry Show, celebrating life and sacrifice, maybe. I mean, these people didn't know that it was going to be their last day on the job.
Sad. It's very sad.
But it is very sad. Hearts go out to Baltimore.
Yeah, and Maryland.